Hi there, welcome and thank you for joining me today. I'm excited to share a scrapbook process video with you. I'll be creating a single page layout using the Season of Green and Gold DSP from Stampin' Up. This collection includes 6 double-sided 12x12 pattern papers with 2 sheets of each design. The first side features rich green tones while the other side is filled with stunning gold accents. Just gorgeous. I purchased the full suite, so it also comes with several vellum sheets, which I'm sure will be great for future projects. Now let's talk about the photos I'm using for this layout. I've been holding on to these pictures for a while, and when I saw this paper collection, I knew it would be perfect for documenting them. In addition to the pattern papers, I'll be using a few stamp bundles from Stampin' Up, including Golden Greenery and Greetings of the Season, which came with the suite, along with Round We Go bundle. Plus, I'll be sharing a sneak peek of a new die set from the upcoming mini catalog, which will be released in the new year, and the Snowy Day stamp set. This set is great for all the title options. So let's get started. For this layout, I am challenging myself to use a monochromatic design. The Season of Green and Gold DSP is perfect for this because it features a variety of green shades, which will be the primary color for my design. I'm going through the papers to pick out the best options. I especially like these three pattern papers, particularly the plaid. Who doesn't love a great plaid, right? So I'll set these aside. This paper has a lot of gold, which is gorgeous, but it doesn't fit with my monochromatic theme. So I'll skip that one. The next one fits well, so I'll keep that one too. The last pattern reminds me of the outdoors, and I have an idea to use it for a different project. So I'm going to set that one aside for later. I'm sticking with one color family, with the exception of a single piece of vanilla cardstock. I pulled out a few sheets of cardstock to match the green in my paper. So far I have Mossy Meadow, Garden Green, and Very Vanilla is my non-green cardstock. For this layout, I'm creating a frame style foundation. I'll be using the Garden Green cardstock for my outer layer of the frame and Very Vanilla for the inner layer. I have narrowed down my selection to these 2 pattern papers, and I set the others aside. Now I'm creating the layers with my pattern papers I selected. I'll trim the plaid paper to a smaller square around 9 by 9 inches and place that inside my frame. Next, I'll cut a strip of the other pattern paper to run horizontally across the page. My photos will sit on top of these layers clustered together. To add some texture to my layout, I'm using a piece of cardstock from my stash that matches the Mossy Meadow color perfectly. This cardstock already has a polka dot embossing texture to it, but if you're following along, you can use any embossed cardstock or an embossing folder you have on hand to add texture to your layout. I'll be using a 4-inch strip vertically down the page, which is an easy size to emboss. I'll trim all my papers to the right sizes, then I'll come back to finish assembling the layout. Now that I have all my papers trimmed to size, everything is coming together nicely. I cut the plaid paper down to 9 by 9 inches. The other pattern paper that sits vertically across the page is trimmed to 5 by 12, and I've also got the embossed cardstock, which I cut to 11 by 4 inches. For the photos, I printed them at home. The group photo is 5.5 by 3 3/4. The 2 smaller photos are around 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, including the green matting I put around them. Normally, I print my photos with a white border, but in this case, I felt the white border didn't complement the pictures and it clashed with the Very Vanilla cardstock. For the group photo, I cut a mat out of Garden Green cardstock, but I haven't decided yet whether I want to place it behind the photo on an angle or straight on. I'll decide that once I have everything in place. As for the 2 selfies of my husband and me, I'm planning on double matting them with Very Vanilla cardstock. I'll only leave a very small reveal, about 1/8 of an inch. With the photos and papers ready, I can now focus on the title. And for that, I'm using the new die set called Birthday Celebrations from the January to April mini catalog. I did want to mention that the die set does not come on this magnetic sheet. I put them on that. I'm really excited about using this one. This set is going to be so versatile in my craft room, not just for the banner elements, but also for the numbers. For this layout, I'm going to create a large banner that runs across the page as part of my title. The banner die itself is really cute, but this die here reminds me of a pocket, but it's more than that. It's going to be a great addition to any layout in your project, whether it's for a banner, a tag, or even a place just to rest embellishments on. It also has a neat polka dot detail around the outer edge. For this page, I'll use this die as part of my title to add the number 40 onto it. What's really fun is this die set also includes these little tassels, so I'm going to use those to decorate my banner for an extra touch of fun. I've already cut all my pieces of the banner off camera to save time. I went with 3 shades of green: Mossy Meadow, Garden Green, and Old Olive. I also cut out the tassels and the string to go with the banner. Before I assemble everything, I'm going to ink the edges of all my papers with Mossy Meadow ink. This is the darkest of the 3 shades. It will help give some definition to the edges and bring all the layers together. Once that is done, I'll adhere all the layers together into one solid piece. However, I won't attach it to the foundation just yet because I have an idea for the very vanilla cardstock. Oh, and I should mention that I also gutted the garden green cardstock. This way I'm not wasting that paper and I have it to use somewhere else on this layout or a different one. I've attached all my pieces together and inked the edges. I wanted to mention that I cut a dovetail in the bottom of the textured cardstock to add some interest. Now I can pick everything up and move it aside whenever I need to. So let's start working on the banner. This is roughly what it will look like. I'm going to stamp the letters to spell out the word celebrate using a close to my heart stamp set called Anthem Alphabet. This set was one of the last purchases I made from Close to My Heart, and I really love the size of the letters. They fit perfectly in the banner pieces. I thought I'd use my Stampin' scrub to clean my letter stamps as I work on the title. It's quick and easy to use with a wet side and a dry side. I'll be stamping one color at a time, and I have the word written on a sticky note beside me just to keep me on track. I know how to spell the word, but as I get going, sometimes mistakes happen. Before I start stamping, I'll do a few test stamps to make sure I have good coverage. I also like to rub the letters I haven't used yet on my hand to season them. To keep with my theme, I'm using coordinating ink for a tone-on-tone look. You might be wondering why I chose this color palette for this layout. Well, the reason is the group photo. Most of us are wearing winter coats in various shades of green. Was that a trend in 2017? Anyway, James and I are also wearing green hats and accessories, so the green tones tie everything together beautifully. The photos I'm documenting were taken on my 40th birthday, which was extra special because I celebrated it with a great friend whose birthday is just a few days after mine. We were both turning 40, and to mark the occasion, we rented a conference room at the golf course and spent the evening with our close friends. Now that I'm done with the color Mossy Meadow, I'll move on to stamping with Garden Green, starting with the letter E and continuing to clean my stamps as I go. I'll finish the rest of this off camera to save time. My title is stamped and in place, and my photos are back on the page. However, I'm not really liking the extra cream matte on the 2 smaller pictures, so they're going to go away. This is one of the reasons I prefer not to attach things right away. I like to take my time and step back and reassess. I'm going to spend some time off camera using the dies from the Golden Greenery bundle to cut out some of the sprigs and branches from the collection. If you haven't seen these dies before, Stampin' Up designs them to cut out the icons that coordinate with the paper collections, making things much easier, especially for those who aren't a big fan of fussy cutting. These dies can also be used on the vellum. Okay, so I've cut out a lot of the sprigs and branches, but they are so pretty. And I thought if I don't use them on this layout, I'll definitely use them on another project. My idea with this is to tuck them in and around the photos to create embellishment clusters, starting in the space beside the 40 banner. However, after trying them, I'm not sure if it's working for me. Let's put a pin in this for now, and I'll shift my focus to the Round We Go stamp bundle. I'm going to create what I'm going to call low profile pinwheels. They remind me of party decorations, which is perfect for a 40th birthday layout. I think they'll make a great addition, and I'll place them near the sprigs, giving the branches a place to come out from. I've cut 3 pinwheels in the different shades of green I'm using, but even after adding them, I'm still not loving this. So I'm going to leave this section for now and focus on another area of my layout. I feel like the cream frame needs some attention. So continuing with the same stamp set, I want to add some color by using this stamp, which to me looks like party decorations. I'll be using the same green colors I've incorporated throughout the layout. This is exactly why I didn't attach the layers to my foundation page yet. I'll pick everything up and set it aside for now. I did speed this process up quite a bit. Starting with Old Olive, I'll stamp in random spots, turning the stamp as I go to vary the pattern. I'll tuck a scrap piece of paper behind the layers of the frame to prevent stamping on the green paper, allowing me to stamp off the edges. I love how this is turning out. Wouldn't this look amazing on a winter themed layout? You could easily swap in different shades of blue to create like a snowflake effect. So back to my photos. As a special gift, one of my longtime friends created the amazing race for us to participate in. So the teams dressed up for the race, and that's why James and I are wearing matching green hats. We were Team Leprechaun. Well, not really, I just made that up. Dressing up was a kind of a last-minute idea, and that's what I had on hand. There were so many fun obstacles to complete during the race, and once we finished one, we had to send a picture to Jamie before we could move on to the next envelope. The selfies were some of the photos I took during the race. She was so creative with this game, and there was even a gnome for the winning team. Before attaching the title and the layers, I wanted to show you that I inked the edges of each of the banner pieces with their matching ink colors. It was looking a bit flat before, but as you can see, inking the edges really add that definition it needed. I also inked the tassels and the pinwheels for the same reason. It's amazing how this small detail can add such a big difference to the layout. All my layers are attached. I've written my journaling, cut it into strips, and placed it in 2 spots of my layout. I stamped on the banner where the 40 is, making it match the cream background. I added some word sentiments using the snow day stamp, what fun and unforgettable moments, as well as the happiest birthday from the Round We Go stamp bundle. The greetings of the season dies are another great addition to my craft room. I'll use a lot of these tags on different layouts. I'm just showing you the 3 different sizes I used for my sentiments. I went back to the birthday celebration dies and cut out a few small banners to add to my pinwheel decorations. I also used a sentiment from an old close to my heart stamp set called It's Your Day. Stamping it on a cream circle I cut out from the bottom layers of the pinwheel. I created 2 embellishment clusters because the title is large enough to serve as a focal point. And since this is a single page layout, I didn't want to overwhelm it by adding too many elements. The branches and sprigs just didn't fit, so I decided not to use them. For a little sparkle, I'll add earth tone shimmer gems using a few in 3s around my embellishment clusters. So as I place the gems, I'll read you my journaling. On February 4th, 2017, my good friend and I celebrated our 40th birthdays together in style. We rented a conference room where we enjoyed delicious food and a bar to keep the festivities going. For my gift, my friend Jamie went all out and created an amazing race for us to participate in before the party started. It was a day full of fun, celebration, and unforgettable memories. To recap, I challenged myself to use one color scheme, and I think I did just that. I used the Round We Go stamp and die set to create fun elements in my clusters, sentiments, and background stamping on my cream paper. I also incorporated the Snow Day stamp set for some added sentiments, which I stamped on tags I cut out from the Greetings of the Season dies. I gave you a sneak peek of the new die set that from the upcoming catalog launched on January 7th, 2025 to create my title, using a stamp set from my stash to stamp the letters. I finished it off with the earth tone shimmer gems, using the green and white to add some sparkle to my clusters. I hope this process video inspired you and has given you ideas to use your own supplies. I would love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I release a new video every week, and by subscribing, you won't miss any of my upcoming projects and tutorials. Thank you so much for watching today. I will list in the description box below all the products that I used. If you've missed any of my previous videos, you can check that out right here. And don't forget to like this video. It really helps me out a lot, and I truly appreciate your support. And for a closer look at the layout, you can check it out on my Instagram page. It's hard to believe this is my last video of 2024, so everybody have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year.